A non-citizen targets a child for sex, gets house arrest, and stays in Canada. Why? A liberal loophole they refuse to fix. Conservatives confronted the immigration minister with real cases and real victims. What did Canadians get? Dodging, denial, excuses. Judges are reducing sentences to protect immigration status, not public safety. Conservatives are calling for what liberals refuse to do. Deport criminals and keep Canadians safe. See for yourself this explosive debate live.
In December of 2023, a non-citizen went to a hotel here in Canada to meet a 15-year-old for sex, in which he had agreed to pay for these services. He only received 3 months of house arrest and was allowed to go shopping for 3 hours every Sunday throughout these 3 months. His sentencing was lessened so as not to affect his immigration status. Do you think the criminal inadmissibility component, so Section 36(1) of the Immigration Refugee Protection Act, do you think that that kept Canadians safe here in this situation?
Thank you, Member, for that question. I know you know that sentencing decisions are made independently by the courts, where the federal government, though, is responsible for the law is for removals, but under the immigration law, a non-citizen convicted of a serious violent is subject to deportation.
Right, but I'll just stop you there for a sec. So you're actually, since you've had trouble understanding questions today, you, as the immigration minister, surprise, you're actually responsible for the Immigration Refugee Protection Act. And that section is under your portfolio. So this guy was convicted of a serious crime. They used a loophole in Section 36(1) to ensure that his sentence was reduced so that he could stay in Canada. Is that good or bad?
So there is no federal law that requires judges to reduce a sentence because of immigration consequences. That is the truth.
Right. So I'm asking you about Section 36. I'm just going to remind you, this is part of your portfolio. So this is your department. Do you think that that section is working? Do you think that, I'll give you another example. There was a 25-year-old who was on a study permit. He sexually assaulted an 18-year-old at a club in my city in Calgary. He was found guilty, and the judge reduced his sentence because of that provision in that bill you're responsible for. The definition of serious criminality, it doesn't work. I just want to feel like, do you think that's bad? Like, do you think that maybe we should change that so that people who are non-citizens who are convicted of things like sexual assault get auto-deported rather than just kind of sticking around and doing it again, maybe?
So we have legislation in front of us that will ensure serious crimes get dealt with seriously in deportations. The immigration, so even the judge in the case said
No, go back. Tell me which law you're talking about.
To override the seriousness of the offense might be a factor to
consider. So you don't know which law you just said?
Absolutely. No, it would not override the offense.
I really think you have no idea what you're talking about. It's really sad. We're talking about non-citizens who are convicted of serious crime being allowed to stay in Canada. So we put forward an amendment to Bill C-12, which would have corrected this. I did your job for you. I think Peter might be doing your job for you in a couple of months. But you guys didn't support that. So I'm asking you as just somebody.
Yes, point of order, Mr. Fragiscatos.
Let's just maintain the focus on the subject at hand, which is immigration, please.
I would love to maintain the focus, but the minister,
we're back on your time.
The minister just doesn't. She can't even answer a basic question. So I'm asking you. You have people, non-citizens who have been convicted of sexual assault, and judges are using a serious criminality loophole that's in your bill, in your department. Do you think that should maybe be changed?
People who are committing serious offenses will be deported. I'll tell you.
No, this guy wasn't. He's still here.
Well, we're talking now. I can't talk. I don't know what year you're referring to. I don't
All of
really
these cases,
know
they're still here.
And again, I think what you're trying to do is, this is an approach that it's a recycled approach that we heard years ago that interferes with judicial independence and ignores the Supreme Court precedent, but again, I say to you, the courts have already indicated that serious offenses will be
Your
dealt with
pro-sexual
seriously.
assault guy staying in Canada. That's what we're hearing. Like, can't you even just say that this is wrong and you'll look into it? Like, did nobody even say, like, maybe you could just say, Minister, this is really serious. You should say it's serious. I'm going to look into it. Maybe we could work together on it. You just defended a guy who, like, sexually assaulted somebody and should be deported. And you're the immigration minister.
I don't know the facts you're
I just
referring
told
to.
you. I've raised it in the House, and you guys have done nothing. And it's continuing every day. It's rampant in our justice system. You have the responsibility to do this, and you've done nothing. Why?
Thank you, Ms. Rempel-Gardner. Thank you, Minister Diab. Next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Minister and officials, for being here with us today. Minister, I want to expand a little bit on this question of crime and how we treat criminals in this country. Should criminals receive more lenient sentences to protect their immigration status, in your opinion?
I don't believe they should, no.
Okay, well, my colleague referred to Jasbir Singh. That was a case very recent, just Calgary, 2024. And that is a case where the judge considers immigration status when assessing the case. That's one example. But let's go to another one. Ashwin V. Sajavan spied on a woman in a bathroom where he made video recordings. He received a more lenient sentence to stay in the country. In fact, in that case, the judge decided to give him less than 6 months instead of the mandatory 6 to 12 months, just so it would not affect his immigration status. Is it your position or the position of the Liberal government that we should give Peepers and Rapists a second chance to stay in Canada?
No, absolutely not. Again, as I said, sentencing decisions are not made by a government. They are made by courts. But no, there is a government will not,
Right.
Does not support such a thing.
Right, but Minister, these are people that you let in the country, and immigration let in the country. They came, the Liberal government allowed them in the country. These are not Canadians. These are people that are here whose immigration status is being affected, whose judgment status is being affected in the courts, so that the judgment decision has been affected in the courts, so that their immigration status is not affected.